Hello, Neighbor Pride. I'm happy to share 12 Days of Christmas. Today I'm going to be reading The Yeti and the Jolly Lama, A Tale of Friendship. And my name is Ann Summercamp, by the way. But this story, The Yeti and the Jolly Lama, A Tale of Friendship, takes place in Tibet, high in the mountains there in the Himalayas. So without further ado, The Yeti and the Jolly Lama, written by Lama Surya Das, and the pictures are by Vivian Miniker. Gather round, children, and hear a tale from far-off Tibet, the fabled land of snows. Surely you've heard of it, the mountain home of the legendary Yeti, the abominable snowman. Not that kind of snowman, the abominable kind. Savage giant foot, spirit of the glaciers, the terror of everyone that is, except for a kind old Lama who lived all alone in a cave at the very top of the world. Oh, and not that kind of Lama. No, we're talking about a jolly Lama, a kindly old hermit who spent his days sitting in meditation. Each day, as the golden sun crossed the sky, he thought marvelous thoughts and kind thoughts, and he wished for peace and happiness for the world and all of its creatures. Wishing harm to no one, he feared no harm. One bright morning, the good Lama finished his meditations. He put on his handmade boots and hiked down the mountain to the nearby village. And they were having a midsummer festival, but instead of cheerful music and tables heavy with food, the Lama found only tightly locked doors and windows, and the village was empty of people. He knocked on the first cottage door he saw, and the door opened a tiny crack. "Oh, most honored Lama," said the villager, "how auspicious that you have come. The terrible Yeti has torn up our fields and eaten our poor goats and yaks. We're afraid that if we come out, the Yeti will come and eat us up too." "Never fear," said the Lama, and he never did. "Yeti has a good meal in his belly now, and he probably won't bother you for at least a few days. It's safe to celebrate. Don't hesitate." Even though they still feared the Yeti might return, the villagers trusted the stout-hearted Lama, and they danced and they sang and they feasted, all for 3 days and 3 nights. When the revelry ended, they filled the Lama's pack with food: dried yak cheese, toasted barley flour, butter, and some black tea. And they wished him safe travels back up to his mountain cave. That night, the good Lama stayed up late praying for the peace and happiness of the villagers. He prayed too for the peace and happiness of the hungry Yeti, and indeed for the peace and happiness of the whole moonlit world. His good wishes shone like a warm golden sun in his heart. It was radiating out to warm the hearts and souls of all living creatures. Just then, the Yeti, the enormous wild man of the mountains, the legendary abominable snowman, silently snuck up on him in the darkness. Crouched on his powerful legs, the monster was ready to pounce. Check him out. But the warm glow of the Lama's heart shone so brightly, the hulking Yeti laid not even a hairy finger on him. Instead, he threw himself to the feet of the Lama and rested his head before the old guy's feet, pacified as a pussycat. "Won't you have some cheese?" asked the Lama. "There's enough to go around. Or how about some hot buttered tea?" "Rumph," sniffed the Yeti at the stinky cheese. Slurp. He tried the salty tea, rich with toasted barley. Would the Lama chase him off, just like those frightened villagers did? Nope. They just sat by a fire, munching yak cheese and slurping Tibetan tea, just like long-lost brothers. Now, a peaceful glow grew in the Yeti's heart, too. His fearful mind grew quiet, and his body grew still. For the first time in his life, the Yeti felt safe and at home. His wild spirit soared with joy as he had never felt before. The next day, the Yeti brought the Lama a huge handful of greens for the soup pot, some tough nettles, and tender watercress from a nearby stream. Tough and tender they were, the two of them making dinner together, don't you think? The day after that, the Lama woke up to see a large load of firewood piled outside of his cave. And then the day after that, the Lama carried his buckets down to the stream for water, but he didn't have to carry them up. Thus, the years swept by swiftly. The Yeti helped care for the Lama day after day, and the kindly old hermit was praying for the Yeti's peace and happiness night after night. Each day, the Yeti's heart grew warmer and warmer until it shone as brightly as the Lama's, like a golden sun radiating out light to the hearts of all creatures of the mountain and all the people in the village and all the hearts of everyone in the world. Yes, all creatures. Yes, the whole world. Don't you feel the warm sunlight glow in your heart too? Happy holidays.